I would like to present to you Milena Ivanova. She is a project coordinator at the Center for Continuing Education at the Johannes Gutenberg University of Mainz. She studies teaching, modern languages and European media studies at the Humboldt University of Berlin, at the University of Potsdam, the Pontifical University of Peru, and the Johannes Gutenberg University. At the moment, she is coordinator of the Erasmus Plus project IDLE, which is stands for Intergenerational Digital Service Learning, and she's offering courses for the working group Service to Society in the Fortham Alliance. Milena will introduce you to the Erasmus Plus project IDLE that aims to develop an innovative approach to implementing tandem teaching, intergenerational digital teaching through service learning. In her presentation, Milena will address opportunities and challenges of intergenerational digital service learning following case studies that were taken during this project. Please give me a hand for Milena. Yeah, all yours.
Thank you. Hi everyone, and very thank you to Kat for the nice invitation. I'm really pleased to meet you here. I already had the opportunity to meet some of you yesterday during the nice dinner, and now I'm happy to present you our IDLE project, which I'm coordinating at the University of Mainz. We are the coordinator, the Center of Continuing Education, the Johannes Gutenberg University, and then to discuss with you all the challenges, opportunities, and also the advantages and disadvantages of the intergenerational digital service learning. So as Kat said, I'm the coordinator of the Intergenerational Digital Service Learning project, IDLE. This is also Erasmus Plus project in key action to the cooperational partnerships. The project is with the duration of 2 years. We started last year in February, and we will close the project end of January next year in 2024. Our project consortium is from 6 universities and teaching educations. We are the coordinator of the Center for Continuing Education from the University of Mainz. We are cooperating together with the University of Vienna, with the University of Valencia from Spain, Volksuniversität from Sweden, the European E-Learning Institute from Denmark, and the Momentum Educate Innovation Small Enterprise from Ireland. So this is our consortium. And what is IDLE? I already shared information with Kat. IDLE is the project who aims to design and develop a new teaching approach which empowers higher educational staff to implement intergenerational digital service learning through innovative models and modes of collaboration, improved digital skills, and better understanding of the role of service learning, not just the third mission of the university, as we already understand it, but also as an essential part of the higher educational mission and our curriculum in the higher education universities. So this is the aim of our project, and our 3 project results or outcomes are: the first one is the project guide, the practical guide to intergenerational digital service learning. I will also show you more details about our project results. The second one is a digital service learning toolkit, and the third one, which we are now working on in the last months, is the IDLE hackathon guide, where we will implement a guide how to organize social hackathons. I also brought some flyers of the project. Please feel free to take one if you want. They're here on the table. And now I would like to present you also our project results. The first one, the practical guide to intergenerational digital service learning, introduces higher education lectures to the topic, with research, up-to-date knowledge on the impact of the pandemic on the practice of service learning, also on the education and intergenerational relationships. Also, it provides best practices to shift service learning to digital service learning, just to see what are the differences, what are the challenges, the possibilities in the digital service learning area, and also introduce the innovative method of tandem teaching. Also, it addresses the Erasmus priority for innovative learning and teaching practices in higher education institutions, as well as civic values and engagement. And this is aimed to the higher education educators and the higher education managers, but also for all the staff who is working on intergenerational digital service learning projects. This is our first project result. The next project result is our digital service learning toolkit. It provides practical guidance to the higher education lecturers, educators, how to use digital tools and techniques in the intergenerational digital projects for service learning, and also it's for all the education wishing to incorporate digital service learning activities in their curriculum or in the practice, and it focuses on increasing their confidence in using digital skills. We made a research before starting this toolkit, and as Kat said, we just saw this discrepancy between what they think they have the digital competence and what they actually do in the teaching practice. The second toolkit addresses the Erasmus Plus priority for supporting digital capabilities of the higher education sectors, and the main target group are the higher education educators, the lecturers, and everybody who wishes to incorporate digital service learning activities in their practice. The last project result is the IDLE Hackathon Guide. We are working now with our consortium on this guide. It introduces the higher education lecturers and staff to the concept of hackathon and social hackathons, on integration of digital service learning techniques and tools, and guides them in the preparation of these hackathons. What do they need to prepare in advance, all the logistic parts and everything, and also how to facilitate digital service learning projects for students and elderly learners to collaborate on. It responds to the needs of the three target groups: the higher education lecturers, the educators, and the students and the older learners, who are both part of the digital service learning projects. These are our three project results. As I told you, on the web page, which is shared also here in the presentation, on our flyers, you can find our web page, and there you can find our first project result and the second project result in all the partner languages, in German, in English, and Spanish, and in Swedish. The third project result will be published in September, I would say, maybe end of September, beginning of October, where we will have also our multiplier events and our final conference in December in Sweden, in Uppsala. So, the intergenerational component in service learning is the linking students with older people, elderly people, for social and educational benefits. And it happens when the program connects the two generations, the students from the university, doesn't matter from which faculty, and the elderly people. For example, in our case at the University of Mainz, it's from our program partners, like 50 plus. These are like the elderly students who are finishing their degree there in different subjects, but it's also the situation at the University of Valencia, but it doesn't matter on which faculty they are studying in our partner university. So the basic distinction between the intergenerational service learning and the program is that it's a service to the elderly people, to the older adults, and this is also programs in which younger students work with the older people together. So it can be also that the service is for the older people, or they're really part of this project, intergenerational service learning. So they are equal partner in the projects. The difference reflects how older adults are perceived by students, faculty, and the community, and also that they're working in collaboration with older adults. It's a relatively new approach according to Rodin in 2013. So, just to summarize, the elderly people can be part of the project as an equal partner, or the service learning can be done for them. I also have it here. So, as providers to service learning to others, for the older adults, or as recipient of the service from younger people. So, who are the stakeholders in the intergenerational digital service learning project? So, we have the older adults from the faculty or not from the community, from different institutions. We have the faculty, the staff, the education, the lecturers who are organizing the project. We have all the colleagues from the university. Of course, we have the community also as part of this project, and we have the students giving this service or working together with the older people. So, according to Rodin, these are the 5 stakeholders in a digital service learning, intergenerational service learning project. So, which are the aims of the intergenerational service learning? The first aim, and one of the most important, is to improve the positive attitudes among the young students to the older people, to the elderly people, towards aging, and also reducing the ageism among the students, discrimination because of the age. It's also the greater knowledge of aging issues. It's relevant for everybody, I would say. It's increasing the comfort with elderly adults, the communication, the cooperation between these two generations, and also promoting the positive contributions of older adults in society. These are the first four. Oh, then we have also promoting positive contributions of older adults in the society, the intergenerational understanding between the generations, the connectedness, and also sharing life experience which enhance feelings of self-worth and self-efficacy. These are the advantages or the aims of the intergenerational service learning. And now we have also the digital competency, the digital service learning project. So how can you define the digital service learning? This is, according to Waldner at 2012, is digital service learning is an integrative pedagogy that engages also the learners through technology in civic inquiry, service, reflections, and action. So it could be maybe a complete online project, it could be only like a hybrid form, it could be also like blended learning. So it's not necessary that it's completely online, but it's necessary that they're using digital tools, digital techniques, and so on. So the digital service learning course is a service learning when instructions and or the service course are online, as I said. And the humanistic and solidarity-based technological use is also very important in these projects. What opportunities brings us the digital service learning? So I also try to summarize some of the opportunities for you here. The first one is that the digital service learning overcomes the limitations of the both service learning and the online learning. I think we know all can agree that only digital service learning is maybe not the best option, but only service learning also. So the good combination between all the practice is a very good approach nowadays. The independence of the location, the same as the online teaching. Here we have the traditional service learning freeing from geographical constraints, and distance education, equipping with a tool to promote engagement and overcoming one of the major challenges of online learning interaction. This is according to Albanese in 2020. Also the application of different type of courses. So each type of e-service learning, like synonym for the digital service learning, may lend itself to different types of service learning and outcomes, and may also face different limitations. We will check later with you also the limitations of the digital service learning. Digital service learning projects also promote inclusion. So the engaging of students who may be unable to participate in service learning, maybe because they live very far away from the location of the projects, or they have some problems. For example, just to reach the location, they can also participate in the project with the digital service learning. Also for disabled groups, rural populations, those without a higher education learning institution nearby, or even shy or introverted individuals can take advantage of the digital service learning projects. Also the online service learning is able to meet the needs of today's digital native learners, what also Navis said in the beginning. It's the best way now to respond also to their interest, to engage them more and to use more interactive tools and methods to make the project and digital service more attractive for them. So all the students can acquire skills, not only the younger student, but also the elderly students can acquire these skills such as collaboration, working, online, responsibility, management, responsible use of social network, data literacy also, which is very important nowadays, and also critical thinking, design thinking, which they can earn in professional skills. These are the opportunities for the digital service learning. But what are also the challenges? Because we cannot see only the opportunities of the digital service learning. Of course, the same as every project, we have also the challenges of the digital service learning, which are the specific obstacles for instructors in digital service learning courses. So the first one is the intensive preparation. So in order to be a successful project, as for every project, we need a very intensive preparation for locating service opportunities. The serving is isolated areas, high levels of interaction and necessary. Enrolling and engaging non-traditional or part-time students, specifically when students need to find their own service placements. More intensive preparation of the course, accepting and valuing diversity of students is mandatory. And there is need to understand if the service can go online, or is it only for the must be revised, adapted or replaced with other offers. Here we have also another challenges of digital service learning is that students and teachers are supported to have prior online course experience before. In the best case, maybe teacher training for the teachers and also some digital training for the participants, for the elderly students or for the younger students. And all actors involved should be familiar with the modalities and purposes of the service learning pedagogy, otherwise it can be a barrier for everybody for a successful project. Digital service learning requires getting familiar with technologies that allow to meet, share ideas, collect documentation and reflect material for everybody. And in the best case, they all have experience with digital component, digital teaching techniques and tools, methods, interactive methods before implementing the service learning project. What can be another challenge for the organization using now these tools for the digital service learning is the non-engagement. I think we all made the experience with the online teaching, also with the non-engagement of students in their online service courses, and also the lack of internet access and lack of devices, which can be also a barrier for a very successful digital service course. So we need the internet connection and access, which to be established as connection, which indicates the digital divide between different regions of the globe, if it's an international project. So, how digital service learning succeeds? What do we need to do in order to have a successful project with intergenerational digital service learning? First, we need to focus on the design technology that conforms itself to the students' needs and also to the both part of the students, the elderly and the young students. This needs to allow the redesign and expansion of learning activity and creation of new learning possibilities and can be adapted during the whole process. So these possibilities that were not able previously in traditional face-to-face service learning. And the key role, what we also learned during our interviews for the first project result of our project is that we need to be very flexible. This was actually the keynote that everybody gave during our interviews, that you really need to be flexible during these projects in order to be able to adapt then all the steps for the projects. Doesn't matter if it's with elderly students or only with younger students. So this is the most important thing that they gave us during our interviews. Which are the requirements for successful digital service learning? According to Wagner, we have the best practices include providing training for the parties involved, coordinating technology options with the community partner, drafting contracts and memorandums and understanding for students and community partners, scheduling preset meetings times to enhance communication, and implementing strategies to facilitate group interaction. So this means that, for example, creating team space on the course management system, that they have the possibility to be in contact during the project, but also after the project, and in the best case also before the project. Maybe the best approach will be like a good mix of service learning, digital service learning, the same as the teaching, maybe like the hybrid teaching or the blended learning formats. We already noticed all the disadvantages from the completely digital teaching for the university, but also the disadvantages from the normal teaching. So in my opinion, the good mix of the both approaches will be the most appropriate now for the intergenerational digital service learning. Okay, then I would say thank you very much for your attention. Enjoy your break.